Welcome aboard. I'm Captain Rick. This is Yacht Elf, the oldest active racing yacht in America. A real challenge to sail because there's over a mile of strings on this boat. And the bigger challenge is cooking in this galley. It's a small, tight galley, and I'm a big boy. But if I don't keep the crew fed, they get mutinous. And I don't want that on my watch.
Chesapeake Bay, some of the days in the summer are just so beastly hot and humid that I think I'm going to make my Captain Rick special shrimp salad today. And to get started, to make it easy on me in the big picture, I like to take and start and make my mix in like a plastic Glad bag or a Ziploc bag or some type of bag that you mix it all in. You can hand it off to the kids to play with, throw it around a little bit to mix it up, and it makes it so easy, and there's less dishes to clean. So I went over to Big Al's today and got some great shrimp. I've got 1.5 pounds, real nice big shrimp here, and you can get any size shrimp, but I kind of like these big ones. They quick and easy to peel, especially on those hot days. You're less time in the galley, makes it all the more worthwhile. So we're going to get started. Here I've got a variety of ingredients that you're going to absolutely love. And it's the type of thing where I leave a little bit of the spice on after they're cooked. Oh, they did a great job cooking these. Shrimp also get overcooked if you're not careful and kind of get a little rubbery. So I am thrilled to have Big Al provide just wonderful shrimp. One thing I like to do is give them the old taste test and make sure it's just what I expect it to be. Wonderful. Cooked just right. Great flavor. You always need to test all your ingredients or some of your ingredients as you go, just to make sure they're up to your specifications. It takes a few moments to peel them, but I like to peel them and cut them as I go, or I'll set them on the cutting board and cut them all at one time. So either way, they just take a few minutes. And shrimp are so good for you, big protein boost. But what I'd like to do is mix a variety of other ingredients in that kind of surprise people. One of the things I want to talk about today is boat restoration. Boat restoration is an important thing to keep in mind. We can, of course, build a replica, but to have the original boat on its keel, restored, that's even better. We have a lot of boat restoration going on here at the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum here in St. Michael's. They're hauling the Edna Lockwood out of the water to do some work on her bottom. She's had a little persistent leak that they need to pull a plank and renew the plank.
See, here's the other thing. When these boats come in and they're trying to do this, they've got to keep the wake action down or they've got a problem. They think they can run into the harbor full speed and make the biggest wake, and that's not good. And if we were in the middle of the process of bringing her out, look at the boat. Look at the boat rocking. That's it. See what that wake did to this boat? And if we were trying to haul her out with this wake coming, it would be atrocious. And Elf is, of course, rocking around too. He's giving the signals to bring the railway down further. He gave a stop signal. They've got to move the boat over to the port a little to be centered. The breeze makes it a little difficult along with the tide to get these things just right. And it's critical to have everything absolutely perfect on these haul outs and also when we haul back in. First part of the railway is going under the bow of the Edna now, as will each successive car of the railway do, until it's totally under the boat. sometimes very difficult to get it centered up on the railway. There's 4 lines, 2 on the bow, 2 on the stern, and each member of the haul-out team has a job specific to do, and it's very critical it's done correctly. There's a signal to stop. The Edna Lockwood is a vessel that was built in 1889 as a bug-eye, and she is the oldest bug-eye on the Chesapeake Bay. 1 year younger than Yacht Elf. The breeze here today is about 10 to 12 knots, and coming out of the southeast, and it's making it a little more challenging for the guys to do this right. Looks as though the railway is getting very close to its position before they move the poppets in. The poppets hold the boat upright, and I think that's about where they're going to start moving them in here soon. I'm bringing her up onto the railway now by hand. And this boat has no internal engine. This boat has what's referred to as a push boat that pushes it on the days that it's allowed to use an engine. Monday a week ago, they took Edna out for the first time in years. You can see the bilge pump over here spurting water out, and that's part of why we have to haul her out today, because she is leaking quite a bit. And that's proof of it. She'll do that for a good period. You can see they're starting to bring her up out of the water. The Edna was used as a drudge boat, as the watermen call it, to drudge for oysters, and she was able to have a drudge on both sides going at the same time, or she could alternate them, going one side and then the other, back and forth, and get the oysters up on deck and then sort through and then bring them to market. It takes a little while to bring the boat up, and it's important, if there's a lot of water in it, to take it nice and slowly and get the water out as we get the boat up. Otherwise, the internal pressure of the water that the water actually creates as it comes up out of the water makes the planking want to fall off if it's not fastened correctly, or if it's loose, or that type of thing. I make it a point to help the museum anytime that they need a hand, and I can lend a hand when I'm here. You saw them move the poppet in, and that's how they're doing it. They're moving them in over here on the port side now. They want to, I think, secure it so she doesn't lay over anymore.
All right.
The bottom looks pretty clean because she really hasn't been back in the water since her last haul out for very long. She was hauled out earlier this summer and did a lot of work, but evidently there's a little leakage area that was missed, and that's what she's out of the water here for today, to get her bottom nice and tight before the winter, because the winter can be very, very hard on boats here, and hopefully everything will work.
So they don't take your route and head down south for the winter.
That'd be nice. Yeah, heading south for them is going to Southern Bay to get oysters, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know when the last time she oystered was, but it has been a while. I actually helped the museum make the boom for her main a year or so ago. Talking about the different logs that make up the bottom of the boat and what they're looking to see where the issues are.
On the other side. There's something on the other side, Michael.
While the water's coming out and they have the issues, they're looking to make as much markings to help guide their work that they need to do. It's interesting to see how shallow a hull this is. Now, of course, this is a centerboard boat, but she can get into the shallows pretty nicely, much better than a lot of other boats can get into. And that's a good thing when harvesting oysters around Chesapeake, because Chesapeake is generally a shallow estuary.
I want to introduce you to Michael Gorman, the vessel maintenance manager here at Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum, and he's working on the Edna, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his work, not only on the Edna, but maybe some of the other boats too. Take it away, Mike.
Pretty much we have about 10 boats in the water. We maintain them all. Every boat comes out on the railway every summer for the maintenance. Then in the winter time, we'll haul up and we'll do a major project.
Oh, okay, sure.
One of them to start off is Edna's log here, which you can see. We removed the log, and we're gonna go ahead and take this out, and we're gonna make that surface all one plane, and then go ahead and carve and put in a new log.
Wow.
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that.
Just like that.
So that's really quite interesting to understand what they're doing, why they're doing it, and how they're doing it, as we see boats around the world being restored. I think that's a great thing. Kind of passing it down for the next generation. To me, that is critical. And we restored Elf. Only took 17 years, 2 weeks and a day from the time we hauled her out for the start of the restoration to the time we sailed her again. Okay, next thing, after we've gotten all peeled up, I'm just going to slice them so they make little chunks, and do 2 or 3 at a time sometimes, and works out to be a real quick and easy way of doing it. Okay, I'm going to do my favorite next part is to just take and put all this in the bag and get this whole process going. Now, it'd be a good thing if it all goes in. That's the best part. Well, I think I need to maybe work a little differently here. That's it. We got a little shell there. Okay, we got it all in without any problem. So that's the starting point. And I like to use the sweet Spanish onion for a couple of reasons. One, the red color adds a little bit of, showiness to the salad. I like to have a diverse color scheme with my foods. Makes it kind of neat. Get this all kind of diced up as fine as I can quickly. Okay, let's get that bag so it's easy to put it into. And we're just going to get our ingredients in there. And these are going to be working well for us. Okay, I got the onion in. Next is the celery. And I like to do the celery with the heart, with the leaf and all that. Put all this right in. And I try to cut it up a little bit. And I think I need maybe too much here for this amount. I think I'll just do about that much. I'm going to put that in, and you can vary it. If you like celery a lot, you can add more. Okay, that's about it. Okie doke. And there we add in the celery. Okay, next ingredient is a lemon. The juice of one entire lemon, and any pulp that you get in is just fine. So I'm going to take and cut it in half and get it all cleaned up and ready. And then I cut the halves in quarters to make them eighths. And then I squeeze it right in. Okay, just takes a couple of minutes to do this. Okay, just about there. And after we get the wine in, I'm going to add a couple more spices. And then we're going to be real close to the finish line here. I'm going to get a little cleanup on aisle 4, so to speak. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of wine. We have a Chenin Blanc from the St. Michael's Winery here in St. Michael's, Maryland. And I'm just going to do a quick open job here and give her a taste first. That's important. you know, it's type of thing that we'll pair this with our salad also when we serve it up. So here we go. Let's see how we are. That's wonderful. I think this is going to be a special shrimp salad. I better try again. Oh boy. Yes. I don't think I've ever seen anyone else put mango in a shrimp salad. That's one of my secret ingredients or special ingredients. Now, mango has a flat seed, so I like to cut along the edges of the flat seed, okay, and do like a quick cut or two. Now do a couple cuts down long, and I'll show you how I take and get this mango all cleaned up. This is a nice juicy one. So I'm going to just take and hold it right out of the bag and start kind of slicing up. They're a little slippery to hold sometimes, so be careful. I do have big hands, which does help, but just be careful, especially when you're working around with a knife so close to your fingers. My next ingredient is peach. I like to put peach in. It kind of melds well with the other flavors, particularly the shrimp lightens it up, and I just love peaches. So we're going to get going on just the same deal here, cutting the peach up. It's all clean and ready to go in, and this is wonderful. Okay, that's it. Now let me see if I can get that all in there without issue. As I said, we'll add a little wine. And I'd say just 2 or 3 ounces worth. And that brings up the flavors. It makes it all work well together. My next ingredient is celery seed. Celery seed adds a real good zing to most of my salads, and I find that's one of my favorites to pick up the flavor. And we're going to add a reasonable shake. This is a small bottle, but it does have a shaker cap, and I think for safety I'm going to use the shaker cap. And also you'll be able to see some of what's going on. I'll bring the bag up and give you an idea as to when I'm done. That's about what we did. About 10 or so shakes of that shaker. Okay. And you can add more, but this just gives you a little bit of an idea as to how much in proportion. You can see it's kind of covered nicely. Okay. And next ingredient, I'm going to use about 2 heaping tablespoons of the mayonnaise, and I'm going to put it in, and then we're going to, oh yes, don't want to be sloppy with this. As you can see, that's pretty good. I don't like it to be too much in there, okay, but that's about what we want. Okay, now the fun is about ready to start. You remember I told you we could have the kids kind of helping us out here, or you can do it, or whomever, but this just takes a few minutes to kind of work around, just keep a little air in so you have working room in the bag itself, and you're going to see it doesn't take long to really take and mix everything up, and we'll be ready to eat in just a few moments. I like to do it, and I'll open it up in just a moment and show you the results. And then I'm going to put a little more Old Bay in because I like the Old Bay. And then we'll give it a last mix. Okay. I'm going to just roll the bag down just a little. And show you the ingredients kind of mixed up nicely, rather quickly. And they also didn't get sliced and diced extra from maybe mixing with a spoon or a fork or something like that. So it works out really quite nicely. Now, last ingredient, the extra Old Bay. And I'm not going to do a lot, but we're just going to do about 10 shakes with the shaker lid on this can. And you can add some to your salad when you serve it up if there's not enough. Okay, there we have it. I'm going to give it one last shake and then we're going to serve it up. There you go. The wine is working with the mayonnaise and all the different ingredients are just doing well. Make sure when you take and use these bags, you take and lock them carefully. Sometimes, if you're not careful, they may open up in the process. You want to avoid that, of course. But they work out quite well when done correctly. Okay. We're going to get a last peek as to where we are with this. And I think you're going to absolutely love it. It's hard to see in the bag right now, but that gives you an idea. The boat's rocking around a bit too, and makes it a lot safer doing it this way. Okay, this is Captain Rick's special shrimp salad that is good any time of day. I love it for a noontime meal or snack or dinner, and it's very light, very healthy. I serve it up on a bed of greens, and I like a little tomato with it, and you can put all kinds of things with it. So, of course, you've got to have your wine to kind of pair and balance it off. So, bon appetit and enjoy.
Damn it! I've had enough. This is it.